All right, so we're doing the Starship Troopers podcast.
Yeah, we are.
I don't know how we got here. I really don't. you really got to enlighten me on what happened to get to this point.
Yeah, you know.
Like, I'm down. Don't get me wrong. I'm down.
No. I know you're down. So look, we tried to do a Demon Slayer TV show, right? We did try to do the first season.
Right.
But we're already doing another show, and adding a show on top of that right off the bat is kind of hard. So we're just going to do short and simple movies, you know, make it easy to digest. And I did say off the top that this isn't entirely anime. This is going to be a mixed breed of several things.
True.
So what better way than to start with Starship Troopers?
Yeah, what a crazy cult classic to jump into. But before we jump into that, let's do the summary real quick. In the 23rd century, while colonizing new planets, humans encountered a hostile insectoid species known as arachnids, but commonly referred to as bugs. The bugs appear to be little more than savage, unrelenting killing machines. The arachnids launched an asteroid towards Earth, annihilating Buenos Aires, starting a war between the arachnids and the Global Federation. The story follows a young soldier named Johnny Rico and his exploits in the Mobile Infantry, a futuristic military unit.
As I was telling you before, the story is kind of two main characters, sort of.
Yeah, it follows Johnny Rico, and in the beginning, it starts off with him and Carmen as his love interest.
There's too much Carmen in it to be considered a side character, because it's not entirely Enrico's perspective. He has nothing to do on that side.
You're right, because it really gives you perspective of both sides of the military factions in this universe. Because for the context of why this movie was made, it's actually a satire on glorification of violence, war, and you see like these examples such as like where like in the because the movie begins off as almost like a commercial on like live action news.
Young people from all over the globe are joining up to fight for the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
So like the reason why Carmen and Johnny Rico's story is so important is because they really teach you that the military is separated almost to two separate cults, which is the fleet and the mobile infantry. And there's also games in theory, which is like, you know, your CIA, your psychics and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
Intelligence agencies.
Exactly.
Didn't he also wanted Carl, Neil Patrick Harris's character? He wanted to join something else, right? What was the other job he wanted?
Honestly, in the terms of the universe, that other field never comes up. Like, I've watched almost all the media versions of Starship Troopers. Now, Starship Troopers, the movie, the one that we watched, is the only one to come out theatrically. The other ones are straight to DVD.
So you watched the garbage ones that were 2, 3?
Oh, I watched the garbage ones. I also watched the 90... what year was it?
I saw those ones too. Those were bad. I regret.
The WB-20 Kids Starship Troopers Roughnecks Chronicles.
Oh, I never heard of that.
That I have all of them. I own the whole show, and that is some aged like milk CGI, but a beautiful story. They go deep in the universe, way deeper than any other version of it. But
how bad is the CGI? Is it like Code Lyoko CGI?
Worse.
Not that bad. Oh,
it's worse.
Oh,
it's not good in retrospect to what we have now.
You know, they give you this whole like war is bad and all that, but part of me is I was like, this is kind of cool. I kind of want to sign up.
That's the irony of this film. So when this film actually came out, it actually flopped. It was a complete massive flop because critics were thinking like you were, where it's like, oh, it's a war movie, but the problem is that it's very
it's in between campy and parody, somewhere between there. And I guess that was such a new concept. That was something.
No, it wasn't. That's the funny thing. So the funny thing is that satire hasn't been a new thing in film at this point.
No. Well, this specific one where it was so good, like the satire, the parody was so good that it just like crossed over between being an actual good film that people were like, are they trying to make fun of this or not? I'm not sure.
It's one of those sleeper films where if you go to watch it, you think you go into it going like, oh, we're gonna watch a dumb alien fighting movie and it's gonna be fun, but then you come out of it going like, wow, that was a really good fucking story.
That's what makes it so difficult for people to understand. It's like this thing was trying to make fun of all this, but it also like made it seem awesome. It's pretty funny when you, because I recently because I had never done it, I started watching Space Odyssey.
Okay.
Like, what is that, like a 2-hour movie? I'm like an hour in, and dude, that's like the opposite of this movie. It's space travel is boring. You sit there for 40 hours at a time and sort of do nothing.
This one, there's gravity, there's bar fights, there's they kind of take the idea of science fiction and just go, get rid of it.
They really do.
There's still that charm to it though.
Mm-hmm.
Where it does, like you said earlier, it does give you that oorah, I want to enlist moment. Like, I want to be badass. It makes you want to be a hero. So this film, I believe it's rated R.
It has to be. You see all the killing.
So the actor that plays Johnny Rico, Casper Van Dien, he when it released and everything like that, in the years following, he would be like out in public doing his, being a normal person. And 10-year-olds would run up to him and be like, oh my God, it's Johnny Rico. It's Johnny Rico. And he'd be like, why the hell did your parents let you watch that film?
You were supposed to learn from me. Not
well, no, he was at the same time. He was like, I'm amazed and happy and, ecstatic that all these kids, thought this film was amazing. Because it was, as a kid, I watched it when I was 5, I want to say.
This might be a hotter take, but I prefer this over Star Wars. Like, give me a universe about this.
I have plenty of it.
Give me good movies, though.
Well, the problem is they also pulled the Star Wars and made 2 really bad ones.
No, Star Wars made more than 2.
It's a very fascinating film, and especially like looking at the times, because like it's funny seeing like when it came out, what its competitors were. Because I don't know if you know this, Starship Troopers was nominated for an Oscar. What's the award for VFX? Is it an Oscar?
Special effects?
Yeah, special effects. They were running against Jurassic Park.
Yeah, because they both use similar tech. They use the animatronics, and they're a lot cooler in Jurassic Park, to be honest.
Well, I mean, Jurassic Park, the reason why Jurassic Park sells it is because they were, a lot of their, like, the selling scene that really sold it was the T-Rex getting out of the pit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they were able to hide, like, the CGI is with the darkness and with the rain. Because the rain gives the glow to like this, like the model to a degree, and
yeah, that's
believable.
also that by what's his face, Steven Spielberg. So I'm guessing he had more clout back in the day,
right? Yeah. Well, the guys, I'm trying to remember. I don't since I don't really know directors. I don't know perfectly this director's like
his discography. No, what's the word? Filmography.
Yeah, I don't know his filmography history and how famous he was.
He did RoboCop.
Yeah, he did, which is also satire. So a funny thing about the director that I really want to start off right here as well. I know we're kind of just rambling and running around.
No, that's fine.
So the author who wrote the book that this movie's based on hated his own book. Like, only wrote really 5 chapters and was like, I fucking hate this. And so the director or producer, I can't remember which one it was almost like you when it comes to D&D, where it's like, no, give me the Spark Notes.
give me the overview. I don't need to know the details.
So, like, for example, like a character Dizzy, her Isabella Flores, she's not actually in the book. She's actually a different character who's a male.
Nah, I like that change.
Carmen doesn't exist, if I recall correctly. People hated Carmen in the test views so much that they wished that Dizzy survived and Carmen died.
I get that, but Carmen did nothing wrong, right? She chose career.
The way she went about it was kind of sleazy.
Right, there's no good way to go about this. You could go, I choose my career over you. What's the best way?
I don't blame her for her decisions to go for her career. I support that 100%. But the way that she did it, so like the fact that she couldn't even say I love you.
Yeah, she definitely didn't like him.
She was definitely not. She played him.
I don't know about played. More like she was bored and needed someone to spend time with.
Yeah, he was just a cute guy.
Because in the beginning, she clearly is not really that into him. She's just in it for the fun.
Yeah, because like we were saying before, the beginning of the film starts off with Rico in high school,
Mhm.
and his, you get a little bit more depth. Now this is where it kind of, like me being like the super critic about films, is where it takes a really important time to listen to the dialogue, because I don't know if you listen to the dialogue of citizenship when Rico's drawing on the little board and everything like that. A lot of people didn't listen to it.
Let's sum up. This year we explored the failure of democracy, how the social scientists brought our world to the brink of chaos. We talked about the veterans, how they took control and imposed the stability that has lasted for generations since.
That whole speech dumps out a whole history of their universe and their society and everything like that.
They do that, but they also capture your attention by doodling on the screen.
Exactly. Well, most people don't remember the speech. They only remember, remember the time Johnny Rico, drew faces kissing each other and Carmen drew her spitting a bubble gum on his face.
It's like, here's me juggling, but here's also me explaining how you're going to die in 5 seconds. Oh, you're just watching the juggling? Oh.
Yeah, and so during this period, Rico is, fighting with himself to whether he, wants to be a citizen or not. Because in this universe, citizenship is only earned by doing military service. If you're born, you don't get it's hard to get a birth certificate in the sense of being able to have children. It's harder to get into politics. It's almost virtually impossible to get into politics. Fun fact, Carmen's dad hated Rico because his parents weren't citizens, because they were adamantly against joining the military. And so it's ironic because Rico, I believe, is Spanish for rich. And so his parents were rich. And that's why, because mostly rich people in this universe were citizens, because, if you're a citizen, you have access to more resources. And so since they kind of did the equivalent of draft dodging.
I think that entire neighborhood or that community was rich, dude, because I didn't see a single homeless person. There was nothing, no rundown streets.
In the movie, they don't really display how big the Global Federation is.
Yeah.
For example, we know that the bugs are from a planet called Klendathu. In movie land, we go, how far is that? I don't know enough. And so we don't actually know the distance in the movie.
Yeah, they tried to explain that in the movie. They had a little drawing where you are here, Klendathu's over there.
They don't really go tell you exactly how big. They really there's in the commercial propaganda scenes, they show Mormon extremists, quote, who decided to move out into the outer rim, which is where we know is close to.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up. The humans are the bad guys, 100%.
Oh,
they started this shit.
Well, that's where the conspiracy. So this is where the biggest conspiracy theory lies in this whole show, is that the Global Federation in general is dealing with overpopulation. And so they need war to deal with that. When the asteroid is flying through and Carmen evades it later on and she loses her radio tower, so she can't actually signal and warn Earth. The conspiracy theory is that the asteroid never actually made it to Earth, because in order for Klendathu to send it, hit an asteroid out of their belt and send it across the universe, it would take 1,000,000 years because of the distance.
But this is movie logic, so we're just going to ignore the fact that...
Well, that's the thing. And so the conspiracy theory is that the Global Federation actually nuked Buenos Aires to then convince them to go to
kill the bugs,
to go fight the bugs stupidly the first time.
I believe that, but it's the fact that they showed a meteor going through space.
Well, that's the thing. It's they actually showed the meteor. Well, they never showed the meteor hit the planet, is the logic.
Who are they trying to fool the viewers?
Yes. But yeah, you're right, because the thing that technically starts the war is, quote, humans
the
entered
settlers.
in there. Yeah, the settlers entered into the arachnids zone, essentially. They were like, hey, you're on our turf, fucker. And they blew up Buenos Aires for it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fun fact about the scenes where they're showing the destruction of Buenos Aires. All the footage that you see of burning buildings, burning trees, everything on fire, actually is real footage from
you can tell.
a 1990, like the wildfires that happened in California during the 90s.
You can 100% tell the difference between a film camera and a shitty
news station camera. No, I know, but a lot of people just think like, oh, it's like, they made it up. They built a tiny set and burned it or whatnot. No, that's real footage of real like city buildings on fire.
There's some stuff in there that's fake when they're like standing on the buildings and you can
like where it's like, oh, there's the only good bug is a dead bug. Like those set pieces, like, yeah, those are clearly fake. But like the footage where it like looks like news station cameras, that's all real footage. Don't even get me started on the cockroach scene.
Oh no,
they're fake cockroaches.
Are they fake?
They're fake.
They were crawling around.
They're confirmed fake.
They were crawling though.
I know. They're really convincing.
Wow. Did they just like make little tiny remote cockroaches or something?
That's my assumption. I don't really know how they did it. The amount of crazy things that this movie, one, achieved, and two, like, for example, at this time when this movie released, did you know that this movie had the most amount of ammunition ever used in a film?
100%.
The fun thing about it is they're all shooting blanks.
They're actually shooting?
Yes. They're shooting blanks out of a real functioning
Those guys are savages.
guns.
What?
So the scene where Johnny Rico is like pumping the shotgun after he gets his leg stabbed. I know we're jumping around.
Yeah. No. It's fine. I had a note about that. He's the only one that uses a shotgun. I'm mad about this.
No, there's a couple scenes where they show other.
No, he's the only one.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of different movies.
He's the only one that uses the shotgun.
You're right.
If every single one of these guns have a shotgun attachment, nobody uses it except for him.
Well, like the movie shows, you don't have to be smart to be in the mobile infantry.
And it's super effective too. The shotgun's so good.
So the funny thing about that shotgun scene, he's firing real blanks out of it. And they had a camera, it's panning towards him. Like it's an actual camera moving, but it has protective like glass on it. He broke the camera after a certain point because it actually blew out the lens.
Did they forget how blanks work?
Yes.
Did no one on set know that blanks actually can kill somebody at a short distance?
Yes. Well, I mean, obviously they knew.
They thought glass was going to protect it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how they did it or how it happened because, again, I wasn't there. I was 5. So, but just knowing that Casper Van Diem destroyed a several $1,000 camera on set.
I feel like that's someone else's fault.
And there's a lot of like fun, weird facts, like how they filmed the actors reacting to the bugs attacking them, because obviously there's CGI in the film. Now, granted, I do have to comment real quick about the CGI. Phenomenal.
It ages really well.
It ages really well. There's only like a couple that suck.
And it's mainly mostly the bug stuff.
Yeah, because they mix a lot of practical and CGI. So the way that they captured the actors reacting to these giant bugs, if you notice, all the guns are facing upward. Now, the way that they did that to make the actors think like that is they had the director, he held a broom over his head and would wave it at them and like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm a big monster. I'm going to kill you. And they had to react like that. So all their jolting is every single time he screamed at them while they're doing it.
It does explain why they're just shooting aimlessly into the sky.
Yeah, hip firing into everything.
You can tell they're not really aiming at anything.
No, what's accuracy? Pure volume. But like, it's just funny thinking that the director actually did that. It was like, I'm a big monster. I'm trying to kill you. He's just yelling at these actors. And there's a joke saying, I wish I could see the footage of just all the guys, because there's like a lot of big panning shots where there's like, a bunch of guys shooting at, the alien or the bugs in the distance. And it's just like a big, wide shot of like hundreds of people fighting hundreds of different bugs. And the joke is, I want to see all those people holding brooms attacking people, and they're just shooting at the brooms. Like, I want to see that footage. But we're kind of jumping too much, I think, into the
no, it's fine. We don't have to review the movie. If you've seen this movie, good on you. If you haven't, go watch it. What are you doing here? This is spoilers.
There's lots of spoilers here.
Rico dies. Kind of.
He is KIA at
technically
one point.
He died.
What I love about this movie also is because the beginning of the movie also takes place in the middle.
Yeah, they show you that thing and you're like, as a viewer going, oh, that's a throwaway scene. And then later on, you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, because like it's like a different perspective, like not from the TV station's camera.
I wonder, I don't know if you remember the first time watching this, because that might have been a long time ago myself too. Did you notice if it was Rico in the beginning?
Yeah.
Like, imagine yourself.
I remember when I was watching it, the first time watching it, obviously I was like 5, so I didn't really quite
me too.
understand everything. But his face is definitely very jarring from the camera's perspective from the news actor. Once you get to that part in the film where you're adjusted to Rico's face and his
All right.
Ken doll, beautiful chiseled jaw.
the dude has such a good chin.
Casper Van Diem.
Him and the other guy, I forgot the other guy's name. The fleet.
Oh, the guy that plays Xander.
That dude, the chins in this movie.
So I have a fun fact for you now.
They chose chins. Is that how they cast people?
Who do you think was casted for Johnny Rico originally?
All right, we got Arnold.
Nope.
Shit. Sylvester.
Nope.
The other Van Diem dude. I forgot his name.
Okay. I know. Yeah.
Not him.
No.
Who was a big
No,
action
I'm just
star?
going to give you the answer because you're never
Steven
going to get
Seagal.
Nope, you're never going to guess these answers.
Okay.
The first one, Mark Wahlberg.
What?
Yep.
Marky Mark?
Yep, Mark Wahlberg. He rejected it.
He must have been like 15 at that time. I don't know how old he is.
Second one, Keanu Reeves.
Nah, that's a bad one. Definitely not. He wouldn't have pulled it off.
I have one more down here. Hold on, because I have it in the notes in here. Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves, Mark Wahlberg, Josh Brolin, James Marsden.
Josh Brolin maybe could have done.
Jason Presley.
I don't know some of these people.
I'm not familiar with that one either. But yeah, they were all considered for the role, but most of them rejected it.
Like Keanu Reeves would have really sold the parody aspect.
Whoa, they're like bugs and stuff. Kill them all.
I don't think I've ever seen Keanu be really angry in like that setting.
But at that time when he was making films.
Yeah, that's definitely not his thing. Definitely not kill him. Kill him.
He's not definitely not kill them all.
Here they come!
Ace, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Kill them! Kill them all!
So if you had to guess how many gallons of blood, fake blood, was used in this film, how much do you think it is?
Any numbers too low. 500 gallons.
17 gallons.
Oh, okay. I overshot it. All right. Damn. It's not as much as I thought.
I know, right? Because like when you think about it, it's like every little splash. It's not like
most of it might have been CG. Like most of it might have just been fake.
So like most people like think like, oh, they must have used like 500 gallons. It's like, nope, only 17. But even then, that's still a lot of fake blood.
I don't know, dude. Like a gallon of Clorox isn't that big. 17 of them. I can imagine that for a movie. I feel like that's not.
Oh god, this film is so much fun. Everything about this film is so much fun. I like looking for like the hidden details that even I didn't know was so much fun. And then because I watched it last night or yesterday, I rewatched it again.
I woke up at 1 a.m. today and watched it.
Oh my god. The amount of dumb, weird facts blew my mind because I was like, it's like that like moment in Lord of the Rings. It's like he kicks the helmet and you like want to tell people, hey, did you know that he broke his foot when he kicked the helmet? like the amount of those I have now for this film. Like here's a good one. Did you know that the Millennium Falcon is in this movie?
I do recollect that, but I don't know exactly where.
It's hidden on the back of one of the ships as it's flying through, and it's like, you know, like that scene where like Han Solo parks the Millennium Falcon on the Star Destroyer. Mm-hmm. It replicates that. Mm-hmm. Now I had a hard time finding it in my version of the DVD that I own. I think it's only in like the original like VHS.
Oh damn, they must have really gotten caught and sued for it.
I think so. Maybe that's why everything else went straight to DVD.
Yeah, the executive was like, no, you can't have that there. And they're like, shit, we can take it out if you want.
Because like I looked at the photo of it, and the only photo I can actually find of it existing is on a model.
Maybe it just was a thing people knew about, but it was never really released with it.
Maybe that might be the case.
Maybe it was just like something like a set designer or something put it there and like they'll never know, but we will.
I know, I was there. I did this.
Speaking of the ships, though, that first invasion when they're attacking Klandatu straight up.
Oh, they're just lights,
dude. That shit is so cool. That entire scene where they're loading up into the drop ships.
Oh yeah.
We are going in with the first wave. Needs more bugs for us to kill. You smash the entire area. You kill anything that has more than 2 legs. You get me? We get you, sir.
Where they're like, remember your training and you will make it out alive. No, they won't.
Oh, that speech. There are so many good, weird speeches in this film. Ratchek's like speech of just like every single time like he gets new people in his crew. Like,
this is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits. If you don't do your job, I'll shoot you. You get me?
We get you, sir!
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Ratcats Roughnecks!
I like his motto though, because he's like, I expect the best, I give the best.
There's so many good catchphrases.
But the invasion scene, as I said, the way you see all the ships just flying in, and then the tiny ships, and then tiny ships on top of the tiny ships.
It's like watching Space D-Day.
Yeah, dude, this is what I want from Star Wars. Give me more of that. Get these Jedi folk out of here.
I think that was what made Rogue One so cool. Is like that almost invasion.
Yeah, you saw
feeling.
the actual space battle in the last scene.
Oh god, everything about it was just beautifully done. Just like even like the guy who couldn't make it to Harvard because it would cost him an arm and a leg when he dies by losing his leg and his arm.
Man. What's it called? I like the ship designs, the way they made them look when they like actually zoom into them and you see the little trinkets and shit.
Yeah, like you can see like where things land, where like windows are and everything. It's really I just love the design of the ships, even though they don't make sense for space travel in terms of like true hardcore sci-fi, but fuck that. We got fucking guns in space.
Listen, I'm not in this for like the scientific accuracy. If I want a scientific accuracy, if you're going
for this film for the scientific accuracy of,
you're wild.
You're in the wrong film. This is definitely one of those ones where it's like, again, like I said earlier, you sit down, you expect it to be a bad, dumb, corny movie, and you get that, but it's good.
But it's so off that you're like, shit, I can get into this.
It's so extreme that it pumps you up. It makes you want to like lift weights, go to the gym. I'm trying to remember my other favorite scenes, because like a lot of them are like the invasion scene, the tanker bug scene.
I like the some of the beginning stuff where I think you have it somewhere in here, the shower scene where they just like, it's just co-ed, no one really gives a damn.
So here's a wonderful, lovely fact about that scene. All the actors didn't want to do that scene. And they were all like, no, I don't feel comfortable getting naked on camera in front of everyone while you guys film us. That's weird. And the director was like, come on, you got to do it for your scene. Like, you got to do it. And they go, well, you're not risking anything. What do you lose? So he got naked and filmed them naked while they were naked in those scenes. And I believe, I don't know if he made all the other like people working filming and made them get naked so that the actors felt more comfortable.
You got a whole set of naked people.
Yes, filming a shower scene, a co-ed shower scene.
Can you imagine that shit? I don't want to jump off this plane. Why don't you do it? All right, bet.
Yeah, this is like the best form of bet in filming.
All right, let me take off my shorts. All right, Tony, hold the camera. I'm taking off my pants.
That scene was hilarious to like watch it and just go, all those people are naked in that room.
They didn't have to be because they never showed anything below. But
right. But at the same time, it was just, it did keep to the, I don't know, it felt raw.
It I don't know. It added to the scene, I guess.
Yeah, like it was like more, I guess, genuine because they're all naked in front of each other. It's not like, oh, here's Khal Drogo with a pink sock on his dick for the sex scenes in Game of Thrones. It's like, nope, they're actually naked. They can see everyone's lovely parts.
All right, we're going a bit long here.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the actual characters though.
Okay.
As I said before, Carmen did nothing wrong. Dizzy's cool as fuck. And the unknown hero that is Ace. I just like the way he is the whole movie.
Oh, blonde guy.
Yeah, the blonde guy. You expect him to be a bully because he cuts in line and he's like, "Mick me," and he's like, "Oh, all right, I'll mick you."
And then he's like, "Best friends later. We're best friends now. We're gonna go have slap tacos later."
And the fact later on he recognizes he's not leadership material. He's like, "Nah, that's not for me."
He's definitely very humble.
It's nice.
All the casts of these characters, like, it's funny, like looking at them now. Like, I'm terrible with this character's name because I don't know why I forget it because they don't really say it a lot. But the guy who blows himself up at the end, Sugar.
The guy who like gives Rico shit or whoever for talking smack about that.
Yeah.
Who's top kick? You want the job, huh? I wouldn't mind.
Badass introduction for a character, I gotta say. You have a piece of these death machines hanging from your neck. So that guy actually plays in The Walking Dead as a priest.
Yeah, he's a big TV guy. He's in The Wire as well.
Yeah, but like it's just funny, like seeing him like young boy, because like now he's always like, he's got like a beard or whatnot. He's got like stubble. He's not clean face, young teenager. Honestly, let's be real. The mobile infantry is a fraternity.
Yeah, because they do haze those kids at the end. They're like, look at these little saps.
Yeah, look at us. We're the old men now. It's been like a year.
That's such a cool line. He's like, we're the old men now, Ace.
We're all these kids. We got reinforced. Most of them are fresh out of boot. We're the old men, Ace.
This is for all you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights.
They actually do look like children. Like,
well, I'm 100% sure they chose young ass looking people that were barely 18. The so-called high schoolers in the beginning of the movie were like 40 or something.
Yeah.
Casper Van Dien does not look like he's 18. Nowhere in this movie.
No, he does. All of them look like fully grown adults.
Yeah, they look like they're in their early 30s.
Oh God, I'm trying to remember the character's name.
Which one?
Oh, wow, why am I Carl?
Neil Patrick.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh man,
what'd you think of him in this film?
All right, I know the parallels between the SS officers.
What do you think his nickname was?
Oh, you haven't written here. What was it?
Doogie Himmler.
That's my God.
Because it's a pun off of Doogie Howser.
Yeah, those outfits really lend themselves to be really Nazi shit.
It did, and that's what really made the critics hate this film, is because they're like, oh, this is clearly just Nazi propaganda. Fuck this shit. But I'm not gonna lie, those officer uniforms look kind of cool,
dude.
Like all their uniforms and everything look
no,
dope.
Yeah, those uniforms are really cool, but the things those uniforms stand by are the garbage.
Because again, it's based off of satire, and because we don't know
I get
the
it. No,
origin.
I'm saying you're right. The uniform is cool as fuck, but
what it resembles is disgusting.
What it resembles and what it's supposed to be is just no.
Well,
good
I don't want to say
there.
what it's supposed to be. That's the thing. Personally,
I guess it resembles too hard.
Yeah, it's eerily similar to
the coat, the hat, the collar, all of it.
Oh God!
But his character's kind of in a gray area throughout the movie.
It's weird to think how this helped his career.
I don't think it did, dude. He was doing just fine. He's one of those guys where he can find work wherever he's really looking.
Well, I do know for sure that definitely made the actress that played Carmen, this one actually, like it did, like I think this was her breakout role. There's a lot of like this movie was a lot of breakout roles for a lot of people, which is really weird.
As I was saying, the character of Carl it's a gray area because he's both supposed to be an intelligence officer.
But then he's never around.
Yeah, and he's never around. So whenever you do see him, he's always sort of being a dickhead.
It's almost like the war made him more jaded because he had to send thousands of people to their deaths.
Yeah, I can't imagine that responsibility. It's like,
you could see the bags under his eyes of stress.
Yeah, Carl has this really good line where he's like,
"You don't approve? Well, too bad. We're in this for the species, boys and girls. It's simple numbers. They have more. And every day I have to make decisions that send hundreds of people like you to their deaths."
Yeah, he's like, I have to do this shit all the time. Like, leave me alone.
What I hated the most was Carmen just being so smug. Like, yeah, we're all like together and friends again. It's like, bitch, you left me for dead.
Yeah, 100% those lines should be cut. Like, she's like, in the beginning of the movie, she's like, we'll make a promise. We'll always be friends, the three of us.
And then the very end of the film, wow, I'm glad we're friends.
I'm glad we're friends. And you can see Rico's like, I've lost so many of my friends. and Carl's like, I've sent so many of his friends to die. And Carmen's just sitting there like, yeah, best friends. Those are really bad scenes. I didn't like those.
So it's funny because with the whole thing is that originally Carmen doesn't break up with Rico. The actress actually argued that this doesn't make sense for her character to stay with Rico and be with Xander at the same time, because that's not what her character would do, because really her character doesn't do a whole hell of a lot except for crash.
She's a pilot.
Well, she's a great pilot, but sometimes she crashes.
Dude, pilots can only do two things: fly or crash. What more do you want? She does them both perfectly.
Right. Maybe I'm being too critical on her, but they actually so like the breakup
what
scene.
What else is she supposed to do? They're supposed to have like a whole like space scene where she's like dashing through a billion things, which she does, by the way. She does that.
Which she does with a giant ass ship. The second time, not so well.
No, you know. They have a whole captain. That was her fault too.
So they reshot the whole. They added in the scenes of her like recording the really shitty blue screen of Jupiter breaking up with him scene. Like that. Like she got that written in there, and like because it made more sense for her to be with Xander. Technically.
Yeah, I had a thing about that scene. In the breakup scene, everyone's really excited. They're like, "Ooh, Rico, you don't deserve her."
Hi, Johnny. I'm sorry I haven't written you sooner, but
Rico,
really
you don't deserve that.
They really got us going here. They must have made you squad leader by now. And if they haven't, tell them to talk to me.
See? All it takes is the love of a good woman.
Hey, I'm breaking up with you, and everyone's like, ooh.
Yeah, you can see it in the back, like in the side. Everyone's just like,
yeah, if you look around the room and not at Rico's reaction, everyone's like, eee.
And then they like slowly walk away. They don't turn to them. It's just in the background. They just go, oh, I mean, let's get out of here.
I just love the fact how they call sending video messages to each other writing.
Well, they didn't know what they were going to call it back then. They were just like video message me. Even that sounds lame. Video message me.
No, yeah, but it's still funny to hear, like to look at it retrospectively, because like how they used CDs to send them messages.
Yeah, that was strange. Like you got an email or you got mail, and then they had a little CD, and then he puts the CD in. It's the tiny one too, right? It's not
like
the regular
tiny
CD.
Oh gosh, I could talk about this film for hours.
Yeah, I want to talk about Dizzy.
Yeah, let's talk about Dizzy.
Dizzy should have had way of a bigger role, dude. She was destined to be like commander or some shit. Cause even throughout the whole thing, she's always showing leadership material, and she's the one that tells Rico in the training exercise to do the maneuver, which gets him the squad leader command thingy.
Right. So in this film, they really portray her in the beginning not so well as being kind of like the creepy stalker.
That was her negative factor. The fact that her only reason for doing anything is for Rico.
Exactly. Like it's like she bases her whole life on Rico, which is why it's like it's hard to say like, oh, she's such a this badass girl. But like it's also justifiable for why she wouldn't necessarily get those like because there's the way of how chain of command works in this universe is kind of really dumb when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because like for example, it's like, oh, Tim died and he was second in command. Who's the nearest guy to me? you get a promotion until I find someone better or you die.
Dealing with soldiers across the universe, no one's got time to do paperwork and do little tests. They're like, you're next in command.
Yeah, but it's just like, hey, you dude right there.
You know how much paperwork would go into dealing with hundreds and millions of soldiers?
Yeah, exactly. And there's also a smidge of favoritism. When Rico's whole company gets destroyed in the first invasion, essentially, where Rico, he gets killed in action, technically. Ratchek's roughnecks save him, bring him back to the facility. He gets revived, and then he gets transferred to Ratchek's roughnecks, which is their elite unit.
It's alluded that they were killing bugs even before the war.
Yeah, because like it's kind of they were killing them on they were on Zegama Beach, which is like a essentially space Hawaii.
He goes, I've always wanted to been there. Too bad it's no longer there.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Zegama Beach. Yeah, it's not there no more. It's gone. It's funny because like all the sets are so eerily similar because they're all filmed in the same location, but at different times at night and day. The amount of heat stroke that the actors suffered on this film, no, it's confirmed. There was like 22 a day.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, they had like the Ace, your favorite guy. He actually suffered it the worst, and they actually had to give him special cuts in his like clothing so that he could get more circulation because he was suffering so much worse than everyone else.
Speaking of the attire, they had no reason to wear armor.
Honestly, the armor didn't do anything.
That's nitpicky stuff right there. They had no reason to wear any type of armor. Put them in a regular uniform, shirt and tie. No, not that.
Tie?
T-shirt and jeans or something that they can move around with, and just give them a gun, and that's all they need.
Well, it's funny because even the guns don't. The armor doesn't even defend against the guns, as we see. The guy's literally like, "Oh, just shoot him in the chest, put him out of his misery. Pow. Shoot the Ratchek in the chest, put him out of his misery."
Is so useless.
What
in
is
this
it?
movie.
It's foam. It's just foam.
They needed them to be in cool uniform, and they decided on that. They could have just chose something more simpler. How much money did they waste in putting them in armor?
It looked kind of hella cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of cool.
Fashion over function.
Exactly. Because let's wear black armor to a desert planet.
Yep. They needed to be able to see each other. Otherwise, they shoot each other.
And also suffer heat stroke.
It is funny during the 19 that no one has any type of light in their armor or something. And they're like, oh, there's a bug over there. Oh no, that was Jimmy. Shit, Jimmy's dead.
The amount of times that you see like scenes of like characters being like stabbed and then lifted in the air and they're still shooting at the bug while the guy's still in the air. And I'm just wondering, like, how did nobody accidentally shoot him?
In the scene where the reporter was being like tossed around like a ragdoll.
Oh yeah.
No one turned around and shot the bug. Like Rico was there for like 5 minutes later. And he was like, oh, wait, there's a person there. But
or the fact that the cameraman, after watching the guy get snapped in half, is just like, I'm going to stand next to this thing and film it.
That cameraman needs a raise. I know he's dead, but he needs a raise.
He needed a raise.
He stayed behind and made sure to record every little thing. Even when he was watching someone die right in front of him, he's like, no.
Well, he wasn't watching. He was dead at that point.
Well,
oh, wait, no, the first time. My bad.
Yeah, the first time.
But back, we keep getting distracted off of Dizzy. Dizzy, yeah, you're right. She was a very strong character, strong female character. But the problem is that with her is the fact that her whole purpose
it was the Rico stuff. Yeah.
It was the Rico stuff.
Nah, if you take out the Rico stuff, she's a really solid character.
So that's why I love that animated shitty TV show. The Rico stuff is still sort of there, but she has like way more depth.
It's more subtle.
It's more subtle. You find out more things. Like she has fear of, she has claustrophobia. Like you find that out in the TV show, like shit like that comes out in the TV show, and it's like, so that's why I like the show so much more as a depiction of this universe versus this movie. This movie's great. I love this movie, but they don't do their characters justice.
Yeah, the characters are really just there.
Yeah, you're just watching bullets hit aliens. That's what
I don't think you've ever really seen bullets, dude. There's just flashes of a gun and little.
I mean, you can't really see a bullet in real life. with your human eye, to be fair.
No, well, no. That's what I'm saying is you never see any bullets fall out of the gun.
Actually, you can actually hear it.
You can hear it, you can't see it. That's not the same thing.
No, there's actually scenes where you could see the bullet casings flying out.
Is it? I don't remember. I just pay attention to them screaming in the air.
You could definitely see the casing because again, they're firing not live ammunition, it's blanks, and those casings are flying out of the gun.
Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough.
The real question you should be asking, if we're talking about the guns, is where do they keep their ammo?
Dude.
Everyone has like one mag. Everyone has one mag and they're just infinite.
These guns have a million ammo or no ammo. They're 100% electric. They use air to shoot these things. I don't know, dude. Is this like a future gun where they put it the mag sideways? They put it like a cassette?
No, what they do is they take the magazine out, they take a pencil, they shove it in it, they twist it 8 times to rewind it, and then they put the mag back in and unload because it's the 90s. We have cassettes at this time still.
Because we do see a single mag, right? We see one.
Running low!
I'm out! Here, make them count!
Make it count.
So proceeds to go.
Just unloads it. Oh, I'm out again.
We learned those have single fire. Why are they just blasting?
Yeah, why is everyone shooting fully automatic? Why is everyone... There are so many questions. What, or even better yet, at the beginning of the film, why did they hand the guns to children?
You're trying to recruit them early. You got any last things?
Let me look through these real quick.
Oh, I got one. How much terror would you feel like taking 40 people to kill one bug, and then you look out in the distance and there's a whole swarm coming out? You're like, oh my god.
I could not fathom how terrifying, like all the terror reactions of all the actors, I feel would be genuine of like how people would react. Because like, again, it's like an 8-foot tall monstrosity,
and each of his legs is like
able to kill you. Everything's able to kill you. Oh, don't even get me started on the alien blood,
dude. Brain bug's nasty.
Oh, that shit's
I don't care what anyone says. That brain bug nasty. I'd never want to see that thing ever.
Yeah, it's in every single film, I think, except for the second one. You know, for those of you who are listening to us that haven't watched this yet, what the fuck are you doing? Go watch it.
Go watch the movie. Even with all these spoilers, it's still, I've seen that movie like 8 billion times. It's still pretty good.
It's amazing. But like the brain bug, stabs them in the head and fucking sucks, the memories out, and it even can control them if it doesn't slurpy slurp. The straw sound that it made.
Oh no.
The straw sound, and then they show the brain moving in it.
Yeah, it's like a little pointy tentacle. It sticks inside your brain and it sucks it up like a straw.
This film gave me terrors as a child.
The beginning's nasty with the dissection bug scene.
Oh yeah, that's
when in the classroom they're like, time to dissect this bug.
Just seeing Carmen get handed all these like clearly gross things, but Rico's like, I'm digging through the bug.
Just digging a bug.
Oh my god, I spent more time. It was funny because yesterday I sat down and I was like, hey Crystal, I gotta watch this film again. I want to rewatch it just to get it fresh in my mind because it's been a couple days. She's like, okay, well I'm gonna read my book. I'm not gonna watch it. And I was like, okay. She watched the whole fucking thing.
Yes,
and she's like, I always forget how good of a movie it is. And she's like laughing and enjoying it. And it's just, it's so good. Just like
it is. I think I went an hour going through it, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to write notes. Let me go back. There's not that many notes in the beginning. Most of the action stuff happens at the midpoint.
Oh yeah. I didn't really take a whole hell of a lot of notes because I've watched it so many times.
Oh yeah, what happens at minute 40 and 30 seconds?
You're
most likely right.
I'm most likely right. There's bullets shooting at some point.
Dylan, find what happens at that point in the movie. Play the tape.
It's just gonna be gun sounds.
It's just gonna be like random action shit.
Kill them all! Oh god, we're dying! Just
all right, is that everything?
We didn't really talk about Ratcheck because we were going through the characters, but
Ratcheck, he's like how to compare it? He's like a grumpy Kakashi. if that makes sense.
That does, actually. It's like old man grumpy Kakashi.
Yeah, he's seen the brutality of war, and he's trying to explain to these kids that it's like not the best thing in the world in a society that really loves it. Because the kids, that's his thing, right? In the beginning,
he's actually coercing kids to not become citizens because he's like, because the only way, because in his speech at the beginning is like the only way to to get victory is to take it with violence, and violence is the answer to everything. And it's like, oh geez, this is dark, but kind of resembles real life of conquering it. I don't want to get in this. Oh no.
Yeah, that's a whole conversation. Yeah, and then halfway through the movie, you find out he joined up again, and he's actually this badass that everyone like looks up to.
He saves like everyone, but then when we see him in the film, he just shoots everyone. For all the saving of people that he did, he does do a lot of shooting his own men to spare them.
Dude, if I'm being tortured by a flying bug and it's like stabbing my back repeatedly, shoot me, dude. What are you doing?
Aim for the head at least, though.
Yeah, at least aim for the head. Don't aim for the body.
And then the very 20 minutes later of dialogue and then fighting, he gets himself shot
because he said it. He said it. If I'm ever in the situation, I want you to do the same for me.
And then he's like, you know what to do, Rico. Do it. Oh God. I wish I could just quote everything in this film, but then it would just be the movie. Crystal made a good comparison, which is, why is Rico the only one in the soup?
What do you mean the soup?
The healing tank.
The healing
green
soup?
While everyone else is just bleeding in the coffee room.
No, they sort of show that when in the beginning of boot camp when what's his face, the sergeant breaks the dude's arm.
Like, yeah, they had like that like cast
portable soup,
the lava lamp cast on his arm where like you could see the liquid.
I guess cool. It's supposed to insinuate that this is like a known thing, and they probably only had a room for one, which is kind of weird. There should have been a lot more vats, but can you imagine how hard that scene must have been to shoot? You have to stay underwater.
I could not imagine. You have to stay submersed underwater. You can't swim down. I bet you had like weighted pants on.
You have to stay absolutely still.
Yeah. I bet he had to have had weighted pants on or something like that, or
Definitely.
something pulling him down, because he's like shirtless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! And your only breathing equivalent is like a snorkel.
You get a little straw to breathe through during that whole scene.
It's just the amount of medical things in this film that are so weird, but at the same time, you just gloss over it because what's that?
The word medic has so many meanings.
Medic unloads gun into your chest.
I know he was doing it out of pure the only thing that come to his mind when the guy gets shot in the face.
Oh,
and during training, he just screams medic. I'm like, Rico, no medics can help here.
There's nothing that we could do to fix that.
They don't make face soup, Rico.
They don't make face soup. Oh God. Or even just how he broke that one dude's arm.
That was a power thing, right? That was 100% a power thing. He's like,
oh, he was just flexing.
Can any of you take me down? And the one guy's like, I think I can, sir. And he goes, all right. And then they tried fighting, and he's like, I beat you, but I'm not going to stop here.
Yeah, I'm going to snap, crackle, and pop your arm.
Your arm? Gone.
And then later on, when a guy has a genuinely honest question, I'm going to throw a knife at his hand.
You think the soup was like just water and food coloring?
Oh, I had. Could you imagine looking through that shit now that we added that element into it where he's in food coloring in water and he's like looking around in it? Imagine how much his eyes must have burned. Like, he looked like he was in pain, and I can understand why. He's looking through water because opening your eyes underwater hurts enough as is.
I used to be able to do it. I don't do it anymore.
It hurts my eyes for sure. Oh man, I think you got anything else? Because again, I could keep ranting for hours.
No, I know you can keep going, but this is like we're trying to keep this down here.
Yeah, so if you
go watch it,
definitely go watch it. It definitely, it's a lot more fun to watch with multiple people because you can all laugh at it.
Yes, I would like to know more.
Speaking of which, you could follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
No, we didn't do the last bits.
What?
We didn't do the last bits.
Oh.
All right. Who do you think is a favorite character? Well, who's your favorite character here?
Favorite character? It's hard to not like Rico because he's so focused on him.
You're going protagonist, huh?
I kind of have to. I grew up loving Rico. But like, I guess like a second, like solid second choice, Dizzy, definitely.
Dizzy is pretty good. Like outside of the Rico stuff, she's really solid. I don't know. I'm liking the Carmen vibe. There's a lot of things that like she could have done better, but you know, human qualities and all that. No one's perfect.
Right. She's justified in her career choices. She could have been a better person about it, though.
You keep saying better person. Dude, Rico was the only one who thought they were going to have a whole life together.
Oh, yeah. Rico was delusional. But he was also, at the same time, Rico's kind of an asshole because he never said I love you to Dizzy either.
It's true. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Carmen. I really like the big aspect of she's choosing career over the main character.
She chose her own. Because like it's unfortunate because it's like Carmen went to the academy to be a pilot. That's what she's always wanted. Rico followed Carmen.
Yep.
Dizzy follows Rico. And then everyone else is just there. Oh, Ratchek is there because his family is all dead in Buenos Aires. Which, how did he survive? Did he go on a trip?
How did he survive? He teaches school there. Did he just go on vacation one day and just wasn't there? So yes, I'm going to go with the meanie Carmen.
I think I'm actually going to change mine. I'm going to change mine to, is it Wilkins? Did we confirm that the character's name was Wilkins? Sugar.
Yeah, Sugar.
I'm going to change it to Sugar. That man starts off as a badass and goes out as a badass in this film.
He gets stabbed and he's like, give me the nuke.
Give me the fucking nuke.
His dying
like
scene's like, take that.
You like that. You like that.
You like that. You like that. You like that. You like that.
Boom.
I'm changing it to him.
They teased his hate for the bugs earlier on when he just kept shooting the dead bug.
I mean, it's also justified why he would hate the bugs.
I mean, everybody hates the bugs. What's over here? Okay, I have a few like little last things we can just go over or not. Isaac called it Nezuko's basket. This week is rewrites. We talk about how we would change what we just watched, remove a scene, add a song, change an outfit. I'm gonna start.
All right.
Get rid of the uniforms. We don't need those.
Really? You mean the military, or do you mean the uniforms?
The fighting ones. You can get rid of the vest. I'll keep the helmet, but the vest can go.
In terms of practicality against the aliens, I could see why it doesn't really make a difference if they wear armor or not.
Also, the vests look like those vests that the what's it called? The umpire, are they umpires in baseball?
Oh, umpires.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this earlier. So the funny thing about the military and the mobile infantry, the book versus like the movie, and even kind of the show, the mobile infantry isn't supposed to be dressed as shittily armed as they are currently. They are actually supposed to be in equivalent like power suits, almost like Fallout.
Well, I'd expect them to be power suited considering they're space troopers.
Because they're fighting these monstrosities. Like in the books, and like they're supposed to be able to like rip the bugs in half with their bare hands. Like they're like fucking Master Chief in these things.
Definitely not this movie.
Definitely not this movie. So I can agree with you. Like it would be like that was what was kind of cool about. So I also forgot to mention there's also technically 2 CGI movies that Japan released where Casper Van Dien actually plays the voice in the dub for Johnny Rico. In both the Japanese ones and also the TV show I was talking about, they do have them in like power suits. Again, if you have a chance, look up the photo, take a look at it. So when you say, I agree with you on the armor. Like they should have been more, should have been able to block something.
It should have been a lot more effective, I guess.
Right.
Another thing I would change, remove the best friend scenes. I kind of don't want those.
They were kind of silly.
The next time we'll see each other, we'll be best friends, or like
we'll always be friends.
Yeah, we'll always be friends. Make that pinky promise.
And then at the very end, nothing will ever change unless we die. Which one of us is more inclined to?
And the other one is going to end up killing him.
The other one's going to sacrifice him to it. I'm trying to think of what I would change because
this is a perfect movie. I would never change anything.
This is perfect. This is flawless. No, it's not. It's definitely flawed. Yeah, there's not a whole hell of a lot I would change, really. It does what it needs to.
What if I go petty and go, I want to change the color of the soup to purple?
I mean, sure. I think people only chose green because they think of like maybe aloe. I don't know.
All right, let's continue from here. Do you have any weapons you really want to put on this list? I don't. You weren't here last week, but we're gonna keep a list of weapons. If you think a weapon is gonna be cool enough, we're gonna have a list.
So like, we would add a weapon that we liked from this movie.
Mm-hmm. If it deserves it. If not, we can just skip it.
I want to say the nuke rocket launcher.
The little nuke.
Yeah, the baby nuke.
Are you adamant about adding this on the list?
I think it's a solid pick. Well, are we going for memes or are we going for...
Well, we could go for memes, but you have to be really good about it because this is going to live on for a while.
I'm going to say the arachnid then. It's so iconic to me.
We're going to have these we're only going to have a set number. So like as soon as we find one that beats it, we can just be like, get that other one out of here. All right. Bad character award. You got anyone?
Bad character award?
Yeah, this is another list. This is just the last week we chose the Goopy Train from Mugen Train. The Goop, the CGI Goop.
Okay, that makes more sense. Ooh, bad character.
I think we can skip this one for this week.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's skip this week because I can't think of a single bad character.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna keep one for there, and I think that's everything.
Alrighty. Would you like to know more? If you do, you could do that at our Twitter or Instagram at Panda Sightings. And if you would also like to know more, you could email us at pandasightings@gmail.com.
Next week.
All right, prepare the Maelstrom Cannon. Target the Great Dimensional Waterfall.
Guren Lagan, spin on! Who the hell do you think I am?